All right, welcome, guys. This is Breakfast with the Brand, the number one podcast in the world for entrepreneurs and leaders who want to go from bland to industry leading brand. If you tuned in live, you already know what to do. Go ahead, put some flames in the chat, and also let us know where you're listening in from. Guys, listen, today, as usual, we have a phenomenal show for you, right? But before we even get into that, I want to actually play a couple of videos. Mr. B, let me know if you're ready with those videos because check this out. Today we're gonna get into the space of luxury. We're gonna be talking about events, and we're gonna be talking about how you can incorporate the two into your business to dramatically increase your growth and of course increase your brand positioning. So guys, without further ado, Mr. B, let's play a couple of videos and we'll be right back after this short break.
East. I'm proud. That's Sean Wright East. Leadership is not the brand they made for us.
Listen, he brought fire, heat. He didn't hold back.
20 years down the line, what I could sell, why not serve first? Service over salary. Branding like a leader closes the gap for people who want branding. Speaking like a leader closes the gap for people who are nervous about speaking. If Steve Jobs would have speculated, we wouldn't have Apple.
He changed lives. He helped people open up their business and start their business.
We are the brand. Some people say, Sean, should I quit my job? Mentally, yes.
As a speaker too, to be able to learn from him and watch him and game respects game. And I want to have that much game someday.
The right client, pay $500,000 for what you do. You have to be bold in your beliefs.
He has been an amazing asset to this event and a pleasure to work with. Very captivating, collaborative, worked very well with the audience.
I want to help you. Put a zero behind your number, right?
The session was great. How he is online, virtually, he is even more phenomenal in person.
Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands.
The entire team has just been absolutely incredible. They are a joy to work with. They go above and beyond.
Give yourself a round of applause. Yes. I don't talk theory, I don't talk hyperbole, I don't talk opinion. Nothing I talk is anything but evidence-based.
During the G Circle retreat in Atlanta, I had the pleasure and the honor of listening to Mr. Sean Rais. He will not only impact your organization, but he will elevate your team to another level.
When you change you, when you put you into the equation, the whole system is different. I guarantee you, you got the right thing. You are the right person. If you can present yourself in the best way possible, there's no negotiation.
His energy is infectious, and I have so many takeaways from the presentation that I can't wait to get started and implement them today to see the result.
All right, guys, welcome back. So if you enjoyed those two clips, I actually have a treat for you. So you see, when we see influencers going live or doing events, there are a lot of things that we don't necessarily see, right? So my next guest, absolutely phenomenal. My next guest is known as the Burj Khalifa of event planning, right? So she is the CEO of Exquise Events, a world-class event planning company which specializes in the creation of high-profile luxury events for individuals and organizations. With over 10 years of experience in her niche, she brings a vast scope of knowledge and insight into the world of luxury and creating breathtaking experiences for the moments that matter. She's also the unseen hand in many of these phenomenal events that we see a lot of influencers putting on. So when you think of people like the motivational speakers, right? The people that we look up to on a daily basis, we often see the influencers up on stage, but what's not seen is the person that's actually behind those stages, making all of those things happen. And she has worked with multiple people Some some I'm not gonna mention, but I can mention definitely Mr. Sean Raiz himself. So help me welcome to Breakfast with the Brand, Miss Riz Olivia Russell.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, phenomenal day, Olivia. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Absolutely phenomenal, no complaints. All right, so let me just say thank you so much for taking out some time. I know your time is super, super important, super vital, and very, very expensive and a luxury, right? So thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, nice. So Olivia, like tell us about you. Let's start with you, right? Let's start with you and what you do.
All right. Yeah, I'm Olivia Russell from Atlanta, Georgia. So Exquisite Events is your premier executive events management firm. We specialize in curating luxury events, as you just mentioned. Um, Exquisite has been in existence for the last 10 years, and um, we enjoy bringing to life the events that you see, just as you mentioned, for Sean and others.
All right, so the clips that we just saw,
Hmm.
right? And I think I'm gonna ask Mr. B to play one of them again in a minute. But the clips that we just saw, you were involved in that, right?
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right. So, Mr. B, why don't you play the first one just one more time, so the people who are just joining in they could see what I'm talking about.
Sean Raiz. I'm proud. That's Sean Raiz. Leadership is not the brand they made for us.
Listen, he brought fire, heat. He didn't hold back.
20 years down the line, what I could sell, why not serve first? Service over salary. Branding like a leader closes the gap for people who want branding. Speaking like a leader closes the gap for people who are nervous about speaking. If Steve Jobs would have speculated, we wouldn't have Apple.
He changed lives. He helped people open up their business and start their business.
We are the brand. Some people say, Sean, should I quit my job? Mentally, yes.
As a speaker too, to be able to learn from him and watch him and game respects game. And I want to have that much game someday.
The right client, pay $500,000 for what you do. You have to be bold in your beliefs.
He has been an amazing asset to this event and a pleasure to work with. Very captivating, collaborative, worked very well with the audience.
I want to help you. Put a 0 behind your number, right?
The session was great. How he is online, virtually, he is even more phenomenal in person.
Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands.
The entire team has just been absolutely incredible. They are a joy to work with. They go above and beyond.
Give yourself a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, guys. So if you're just coming in, I want to say phenomenal morning. I see Michelle. I see my brother Kwame. So welcome to the show. We're actually here with Miss Olivia Russell, who is an executive event planner, also the CEO of Exquise Events. So Olivia, the clips that we just saw,
Yeah,
you were instrumental in orchestrating some of those events, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us more about that, because everybody knows about influencers. People often see the persons and the faces that are up on the stage, but let's talk about the back end. How much work actually goes into the back end? And I mean, just from your perspective, right? How important is the work that you do to the overall brand image of these influencers?
So, my work is just as important as, the outcome that you want. So, beginning from once you decide you're going to have an event, it's really important to decide what you want that look and feel to look like. What do you want the audience to experience, the clients to experience? So, I help the I help the team to find the location, to talk through, what is the look and feel of the, all of the attendees, find colors, feel,
Yeah.
smells. What do they want to experience when they come in? So planning can go anywhere from 3 months to a year, depending on what the event looks like. Um, we go through the selections of foods, branding materials, and all of those things. So, as you just mentioned, it's extremely important to make sure planning is done from the very very beginning.
All right, very nice. Now you mentioned something there.
Hmm.
You said the look and the feel.
Uh-huh.
Guys, if you followed us long enough, and if you know anything about branding, you know that branding is, and I think Steve Jobs said that branding is basically the way that you make people feel, or the way that people feel when you walk in and out of the room, right? So to me, having that event is, and just by you saying that, the feeling, it lets me know that there is a lot that goes into the underlying factor behind what makes a brand, not just an event, but a brand successful.
Hmm.
I could remember with Sean, when we originally launched, we had the brand, we had branded like a leader when we launched. We had several courses. Right now we're on number 6, I believe, which would be marketing like a leader. And then that eventually morphed into an event, which was the Myrtle Beach Mastermind.
Hmm.
So we see the evolution from a brand to an offer, or to offers,
Yeah.
and then to events, right?
Yes.
But what you're saying is that the event, the culmination of an event and capturing that feeling, to me, when I think about it, it is the ultimate thing. And I'll
Hmm.
tell you why. I mean, everybody's online, right? And Sean often says there's a difference between being on the Zoom and being in the room.
Absolutely.
But if somebody experiences you one way online, and when they come to meet you in person, they experience you in a different way, to me, that could taint your brand.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You want the event to capture everything that you've done in that branding packaging, right? So it's really important, as you just mentioned, to execute what you've done throughout that entire process. You want to capture the essence of that branding.
Very nice. So, Olivia, do you only work with luxury brands? I know you're in the luxury space, right? Is that primarily like who you work with?
Well, that's the primary. So executives, corporations, I also do personal events.
All right, nice.
Mhm.
So, I have to ask you, how do you define luxury? Let's talk about that. Because, and guys, put it in the chat as well. What is your definition of luxury, right? So, we're talking about luxury event planning, right? Luxury event planning. As you know, with this particular brand, the Sean Raiz brand, we taught high-end luxury clothing, and we also teach people how to build luxury brands. So we're sort of, linked like that, where we're both in the luxury space. But for the people who are viewing, how does Exquise Events view luxury? What is your definition of luxury?
The best. It is the best of the best, defined by the client, defined by what they're trying to communicate. Um, when someone very wise told me, luxury for those without water in certain country could be water, right? So it's defined by the individual. I'm very keen on listening to what's needed by my clients. So if we're going grand, then that's what it is. Uh, so really, it's defined by the client.
Nice, nice. So we have some people putting responses in the chat. So good morning to you, Kwame. So Michelle says luxury is creme de la creme. Okay. So that basically means luxury is the best of the best. But you know what's so funny?
Hmm.
We had a breakfast with the brand once, and I think Sean came on. He was actually traveling. He was traveling that day, and he came on, I think, from the ship, and he was talking about how he went to the Caribbean. I'm not sure what island it was. It might have been like Dominican Republic,
Hmm.
and him being able to see firsthand what it's like to be in some of these islands, and honestly, some places just having clean water
Yeah,
is a luxury.
absolutely.
So hearing you say that luxury is primarily defined by that person, That is very refreshing. Very refreshing. Now, in the space that you work with for corporations and
Hmm.
also for influencers,
Yeah.
do you find a push for more luxury? Like, are people requesting luxury, or are people just doing regular, just regular events?
No, so for a lot of corporations, one of the things, luxury is time. So one of the things that I offer is time saving. So a lot of times that is, if it's a corporate event, being able to show up at your event without having to do all of the planning. My team comes in and executes from the beginning to the end. You don't have to worry about planning, doing any of the operations of the events, any of the logistics. Setting up anything. So we come in and do everything, and you can just arrive at your event. Your attendees are already um, the luxury in that case is time. Sometimes we're talking about fabrics and details and um, having the best drinks, the best foods, and those type of things for very expensive palettes. Yes,
Yes.
but also um, desire is also that a lot of the clients are looking for.
All right, nice. All right, so guys, just so you know what we're talking about here, we're talking about the luxury event space. We're talking about the evolution from going from a brand to an offer and also to an event. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, an event is basically the culmination of a brand. Think about it. Every influencer that you know has some kind of event, whether it be Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, they have some kind of event. So what we see here is a model where the model is, of course, you build a brand. From the brand, you have to sell something, right? You can't have a business if you don't make money. You have to sell something. You have to have an offer. But at some point, you want to get people in the room, right? So put it in the chat, guys. What are your thoughts? How many of you have brands, and how many of your brands actually have events? And I don't mean virtual events, okay? I mean an actual in-person event. All right. So Kwame says cultural competency is major when defining luxury. Olivia, what are your thoughts on that? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Hmm. Say more, Kwame.
Yeah, Kwame, put a little more in the chat, Kwame. All right, we're gonna get to that in a minute. So Charmaine says luxury is what brings an individual comfort, their definition of comfort.
Absolutely.
I like that. And she also says bringing the transformation and experience to life.
Yeah.
That's right. So bringing the transformation and experience to life. So Olivia,
Hmm.
how much of what you do entails transformation?
Oh, all of it, because we start with a vision. We talk through what is it that you want it to look like? What are you wanting your guests to experience? And that comes from, thoughts initially. And then we build from that vision. So maybe you want your you want the experience to be excitement. So we find those things that are going to excite people. Maybe we want to do some tandem skydiving. Maybe we want to do, I don't know, a Porsche experience. What do we want to do? We want everyone to be calm. Maybe we're bringing in different aromas in the room that make everyone relax. So yeah, it's definitely thought brought to life. So there is a transformation that comes to it, and that's why it requires a lot of planning, a lot of
Mhm.
discussing, and envisioning, just like you said with the brand, a lot of planning together.
Yes, yes, definitely. So you said a thought come to life, right? So when
Hmm.
I think about a brand, that's typically what I think about.
Hmm.
To really sum it up, a brand is basically your vision expressed in the form of a business.
Hmm.
All right. So that's phenomenal. Let's get a few other comments. So right now, virtual. Okay, so Michelle has a virtual event. She will be moving to hybrid within the next 6 months. So hybrid meaning she's
Hmm.
gonna do both online and offline. We have Charmaine. She says, yes, doing my first luxury. Okay, so Charmaine is doing her first luxury herbal event this year. Drop some tips. All right. So Olivia, do you have any tips for Charmaine? In fact, you know what? Hold on to those tips because we're gonna go to a break, right, in 60 seconds. But when we come back, guys, if you have any questions about events, about planning, about any kind of anything that basically involves getting people in the room,
Mhm.
then have those questions ready, okay? Guys, so again, this is Olivia Russell, CEO of Exquise Events, and she is the one behind a lot of the events that you see for influencers. Influencers going from the initiation of their brand, right, to the culmination or to the building of a product, and then also to moving people from the Zoom and getting them into the room. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is Breakfast with the Brand.
The reason why I did this and what I do is help leaders to become brands and brand themselves. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I teach authenticity marketing. If people can take advantage of you, they will in your personal or professional existence.
My biggest takeaway just from day one is you are the brand. I would recommend it to anybody that's really looking to build a personal brand.
Just the brand in general has changed my life. I've grown so much since I've been a part of this.
I see myself in what he does, and I believe in it just as much as I believe in myself.
I don't talk theory, I don't talk hyperbole, I don't talk opinion. Nothing I talk is anything but evidence-based.
During the G Circle retreat in Atlanta, I had the pleasure and the honor of listening to Mr. Sean Rais. He will not only impact your organization, but he will elevate your team to another level.
When you change you, when you put you into the equation, the whole system is different. I guarantee you, you got the right thing. You are the right person. If you can present yourself in the best way possible, there's no negotiation.
His energy is infectious, and I have so many takeaways from the presentation that I can't wait to get started and implement them today to see the result.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand. If you haven't done so, put your flames in the chat. Let us know where you're listening in from. And we have with us today the CEO of Exquise Events, right? A luxury event planning company, creating memorable moments, right? Or creating memorable experiences for the moments that matter. So, Olivia, before we went to the break,
Mhm.
Charmaine put something in the chat. So she asked for a few tips when it comes to her luxury herbal event. So, what are some tips that you would have for Charmaine?
All right. So Charmaine, when you say luxury herbal event, say more. And is it that you want people to experience the herbs? What is that feeling that you want everyone to leave with? I would say make sure that whatever it is that you're wanting to guess the guest to leave with, that's how you start. So is it smells? Is it that you want them to try the herbs? Are they tasting? Are they smelling? Whatever that is that you want them to leave that experience with, make sure that that's something that you incorporate in the actual experience.
Hold on. So, I caught something.
Hmm.
You said something very powerful. And I'm not sure if most people heard what I heard. So, you said, whatever you want people to get out of the experience is what you introduce in the beginning, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Let's say I'm planning an event. Like to my brain, that says, let's say I'm Charmaine. Let's say I'm planning the event like Charmaine, and I want people to leave the event with a renewed sense of healing. Let's
Hmm.
just as a topic. What you're saying is that from the inception of the event, like from the moment they arrive on site, there are supposed to be certain elements that relate or that translate the feeling
of being renewed. Absolutely.
Tell us about that. So, like, what are if you were planning this event, Olivia? What are some of the things that you would like recommend in
So
my example?
So we're walking in some venue and they're going to be renewed. Like they're going to go from outside to inside, and something amazing is happening. Something smells different. It feels different. We're going to activate all of the senses. Something smells different. Something looks visually different. Something feels different. They're taking off shoes. There's something dramatically different that's going to occur when they go from the outside to the inside of the event that transforms this their whole being.
Right. It almost sounds almost like symbolic.
Hmm.
Like I remember that I think Tony Robbins, he does this thing where he gets people to walk over like hot coals or something like that.
Hmm.
So are you talking about those types of symbolic things where you're moving from one state to the other? It may be maybe they walk into a room and I don't know, they're dressed in black and they come out they're dressed in white. I don't that's what I'm interpreting by what you're saying. Am I
Maybe.
the
Listen,
right
I
path?
can talk to Charmaine and see what she has in mind, but absolutely,
All right.
something very similar. Yeah.
Okay, so Charmaine actually she did put something. So she said celebrating the healing and freedom.
Hmm. Hmm. So
Right. So without of course, you know, giving out the secret sauce, what are some things that you could give to Charmaine to help her plan her event? Or just some tips, to enhance the experience of the event.
you're talking about a celebration. So that sounds like excitement. It's healing and freedom. So you want them to think through what that's going to look like, and again, um, acknowledging that they're going to come in and they're going to celebrate this healing and freedom. So they want to acknowledge what that healing is that's occurring for them, so that you can actually celebrate those things.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Thank you for that, Charmaine. Guys, if you have any other questions, please go ahead, put them in the chat. All right. So, and let me just say, so Charmaine has a phenomenal brand, right? And go out, check her out. Charmaine, you could put your information in the chat. So Charmaine actually went from actually branded like a leader. She developed her offers, and as you could see, she's actually in the process of actually planning her first event, which is sort of what I was talking about, going from brand to offer and to event, right? So let's get Kwame. Kwame expounded on his last point. So he says, the water example is what made that comment come to mind. Knowing the resources our clients need based on their conditions is critical to what we provide as a business. And let me go back to his first comment just for the people who are coming in. So Kwame had cultural competency is major when defining luxury. And he's backing up his comment by saying the water example is what made that comment come to mind. Knowing the resources our clients need based on their conditions is critical to what we provide as a business.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that, Olivia?
So I'm agreeing 100%, Kwame. That was really helpful in answering it. Yeah. So just being and as Juniors mentioned earlier, being behind the scenes and knowing what the client needs, absolutely. Making those things available, and making, as I said, all of those things available for the client makes the experience better for the client.
All right, nice. So while you're speaking,
Mhm.
I hear you talk about the client a lot. Does the client or is the experience for the client, meaning the person that's paying you,
Yeah.
different from the experience for the person, the beneficiaries, meaning the guests? So is there a difference in the experience there? Because I'm guessing there is. The client, and let me just give you some more context, right? The client, they basically want their time. Like they don't want the hassle of trying to plan an event and getting things in order, and you don't have a plan, so you forget something last minute, that type of thing. So,
Mhm.
is there a difference, or in fact, what is the difference, if there is, between the experience of the client, the actual client, the business owner, who may
Mhm.
be looking at this right now, and the actual beneficiaries, which means the guests, from
Yeah.
your experience?
Oh, yeah. So the client and I and my team plan the experience for their guest. And then on the day of, my focus is to make sure that the client gets to execute all of those details, and then I worry about all the nuances that happen so that the client can execute themselves and not have to worry about the things. You've all been in an event where you know technology goes bad or things go bad behind the scenes. So my team takes care of those things so that the client doesn't have to worry about that, and they can just enjoy. Or if it's a party, um, mingle with their guests and all of those things. They don't have to worry about the details, and they can have a wonderful event and not have to worry about anything that's going on behind the scenes. So we do the planning in the front end so that they don't have to do any of those things on the back end.
Nice, nice. And give us a little more insight into like what really goes on.
Ooh, everything.
Just give us a little insight on that. Like what really, like, because when you look at these phenomenal events, and just being part of them, a part of a few of them myself, like I know that sometimes things could be going wrong until like the last minute.
Oh my goodness.
What is
We
it
had,
like? What is
oh,
the life of an event planner like in action? Because sometimes when I listen to you, like some of the stories that you've told me, it sounds like almost like you're a firefighter. You know what I mean? So, so what is that experience like behind
oh,
the scenes?
literally like a firefighter, like staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning, preparing. Running back and forth. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. As far as things not showing up, I've had before in weddings where bouquets on the day of were not made. So my team has had to create bouquets in the back end right before they were given to the bride. I've had, um, let's see, just anything that you can imagine. Microphones not showing up, clothing and attire for someone that was speaking not being there and having to go run to the mall very quickly and buy whole new suits or wardrobes for people. Um, just anything and everything that could go wrong does go wrong. So as a planner, it's very important to have a kit and have, everything detailed. Just be very, very detail oriented to know everything from each minute as to where everyone is supposed to be, have check-in points, and have a very detail oriented team as well.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so when it comes to brands, because
Mhm.
many people looking, in fact, I think everybody looking now, most likely they're business owners.
Yeah.
So meaning now, if you're in business, guys, you have a brand. It's not a question of, hey, do I have a brand? The question is, are you going to play an active role in the development of your brand? Right? So everybody looking has a brand. And if you have a brand, if you have a business, if you're selling, you have an offer, right? Now, for the people who you work with, who are the a high level, right? How many of those clients actually have events? Is it a common theme that you see maybe in our industry? I know you've worked with other people in our industry.
Mhm.
When I say our industry, I mean the coaching, personal development space. How many of those people have events?
Most do. So usually the quarterly retreats or quarterly events, either leadership conferences, galas, kickoffs, grand openings or whatnot. As Charmaine just mentioned, some kind of launch or brand event type thing. Usually, in this space, in the coaching space, there's about 4 events per year.
Nice. Nice. So the system is very simple, guys. It's brand, offer, and event. Let me say that one more time. So you have to have a brand. Obviously, you have to have a brand, right? People have to know who you are. You have to be able to spread your message. You must have something to sell. Like you must have an offer. You must have something that you're giving to people. And then of course, we top that off with an event, right? So let's get a few questions for Olivia. In fact, I see one in the chat. I'm gonna take that. Guys, if you're viewing this live, please go ahead, put your questions in the chat. Olivia has over 10 years of luxury event planning experience. Um, this is a golden opportunity, golden opportunity. So if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. If you don't have a brand, what are you doing? You need to contact us as fast as possible because we're talking about the system, the proven system, which is brand, offer, and event. So let's get this. So Charmaine says, what are a few common important things that people don't think about when speaking to you about planning events? Huh, interesting question.
So I would say one of the most important things is budget. That there is a budget and just the planning for the budget. When you're having an event, there are things associated with the food that you would want to serve your guests, look and feel, all of the decor that you would want to have there. If you would need different elements for marketing and all of those type of things. So just keeping in mind, making sure that you have enough time to plan out and have an appropriate budget for that event.
All right, nice. So we have the budget. Is there anything else apart from just the budget? Is there anything else?
Knowing what you want to do, this is an opportunity to, as you mentioned, really highlight, to culminate whatever excitement, whatever you're trying to communicate to your audience. So use the event to celebrate, use the event to highlight, whatever's going on within your organization. So, that's it's an opportunity. So partnership with your event planner is an amazing thing because it can really uh, go hand in hand with your brand.
All right, nice. So I actually have a follow-up question from that.
Mhm.
We're talking about going from a brand to an offer to an event, right? So brand, offer, event. I have a question about that, Olivia.
Mhm.
You said something there very important. You said a partnership.
Yes.
When most people think about events, like immediately they think about money. And when I say money, I mean an expense.
Yeah.
So how does your company does your company partner with, the influencers, the business owners to ensure that they turn a profit? Because I've heard, right, that
Mhm.
most events depends on how you do it. If you do it in the wrong way, it could end up not being profitable, right?
Mhm.
So how do you partner with businesses going from brand, offer, event to help them become even more profitable and to grow their brand awareness and also their positioning in the market using the event?
Yeah, so we're very budget conscientious and very keen on making sure that we stay within budget. Again, with partnership with the brand, talking through those details from the very beginning, we make sure that we're planning from the beginning. And know what we're going to do from the beginning to end. So yeah, there are different ways that we'll plan and talk through what the goal is and make sure that we stick to that plan.
Very nice. And can you walk us through a little bit of the process of how exactly that happens
Mhm.
from the ideation of the business owner to the actual launching of the event?
Yeah. So we would do a consultation to talk through, is it one event or are we planning for the 4 events or multiple events for the year? We do like a vision board to talk through what that looks like. What are we wanting to do? Who are we targeting as far as the guests that will come? Guest in number. Is it going to be daytime event, night event, and all of those details coming together in a vision board, which then leads us into budgets. And then from there, we would just go through the execution of it. My team coming out to that location um, and doing whatever is necessary to execute the event.
All right, great. All right, guys, so we're gonna go to a short break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Of course, we'll be back with Olivia Russell, CEO of Exquise Events, and we're gonna be talking about how you can go from a brand to an offer to a phenomenal event. Stay tuned. This is Breakfast with the Brand.
Right now is the new face of leadership. I chose to go the route of SOE, standards of excellence. So I help people put zeros behind their numbers. I help people move up in or out of their organization and get paid their annual income monthly, their monthly income weekly, and their weekly income daily. I promise you, if you follow me at all, you're gonna wanna use something to write with. CSA first, CSA. Clarify, simplify, and amplify. Clarify, simplify, and amplify. It starts with a decision. Who do you want to be and what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? You have to define that. If you don't know, then it's vague and it'll never be clear. The problem that we have is clarity. We walk into an organization happy to be there, happy that they accepted us, but we don't have a clear goal. That's why people stay in the same organization year after year after year, go to the same vacation spots with the same people and talk the same amount of nonsense around the same water cooler. So when I go into an organization and someone says they've been here for 20 years and they're still around $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, I'm like, whew, it's chilly. It's a little bit cold when I know that all it takes for you to raise your prices, whether it's inside or outside of an organization, is self-belief and dedication. Brand you and not what you do. So when I meet people, I ask people, tell me a little bit about yourself, and they immediately tell me what they do. That's not who you are. Branding is who you are. Marketing is how people find out about you. So when you say, I'm a photographer, you just lumped yourself in with a million other photographers. What's special about you? Why should I work with you? I don't need a hand with a camera. I need a man with a story, a woman with a goal, a vision, someone with an idea of what they want to be and who they want to impact in their lives. That's what moves me. We know where we belong, whether we're in that seat or not. We heard the word legacy and we were pulled to come. I flew in last minute. Let's go. Leadership, legacy, love. Whew, I gotta be there. So what happens in marketing is when you say, I am you put yourself in what we call a red sea. You're now fighting against a million competitors with a million different things. Clarify, who are you? What do you stand for? And then simplify it, don't make it 10 things. Bruce Lee said, I do not fear the man who has thrown 10,000 kicks. He says, I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. You can have the most mouth-watering steak that the world has ever seen, but if you try to position it or place it in a vegan neighborhood, you make no money. Who are you trying to market to? Sometimes we don't support each other. Sometimes you got to go outside of your community, outside of your neighborhood, outside of your phone book to find someone who will support you. So if your business is hurting, think about the place that you're trying to move, whatever it is that you're moving, and the people that you're trying to sell to. You want to become the OVO. The OVO is the only viable option in your vertical. The only viable option in your vertical. We're not here for competition. We're here for domination. We're here for domination, period. And if you feel differently, you're probably in the wrong room. Is anybody ready for the fifth one? Are you ready for the fifth one? Might want to capture this. Might want to capture this. For God's sakes, man, your prices. Your prices. We should stand out because of price. Some people look for the lowest price. You're making a big mistake because you're defining yourself. Your success comes from mindset and perception. If you're competing over the lowest price, there's a problem. Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands. Train people. I'm going to leave you with this. We train people how to treat us when we meet us based on how we treat ourselves. brand you and not what you do. Thank you.
Right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand, and I have with me Mistress Olivia Russell, CEO of Exquise Events. And guys, we've been talking about the system, right? The system is the brand, the offer, and the event. And I want to talk a little bit about that, right? So, for my people viewing, listen, success leaves clues. It's not complicated. And to be honest, as you grow in business, you learn that simple works better, right? Simple is way better than complicated. It's right, Olivia, right? Simple is way better than complicated. Let me tell you something. That's something that I've learned. Like a lot of the times, people come to me with different ideas, and if it takes you more than 30 seconds to explain it to me, it's probably too complicated. So what I've noticed in our space is most influencers, they have a brand, right? So the only reason you know them and the only reason they're an influencer is because of a brand. They have an offer. When I say an offer, I mean one offer, right? There's one thing that they sell that they're known for. It could be a course, it could be a coaching program, it could be some other type of product. And then they normally bring all of that together into an event. So if you're looking at this right now, and you have a brand, you have an offer, but you don't have an event, then it's almost like having a tripod with one leg missing, right? And this is where Miss Russell comes in with Exquise Events, helping us to create luxury moments or luxury experiences for the moments that matter. So, Olivia, I want to ask you, for the people who have brands, how important, how vital, how critical is an event to the basically to taking their brand to the next level? Have you ever, in your experience, seen anybody really who's really doing anything big who doesn't have an event?
No, I haven't. No, I have not.
There you go. There you heard it, guys. It wasn't from me. It was from Olivia herself. So, guys, listen. If you're looking to take your brand to the next level, then you definitely want to have an event. Now, Olivia, let's talk about Exquise Events.
Mhm.
What is the vision for Exquise? So for the people viewing who don't necessarily know your company, what is the vision?
Vision for this year. We're doing it big. So one of the things that we're doing is moving in a larger frame, and this is why I'm here with you all today. Um, we've been operating a little bit behind the scenes for the past 10 years, as we said. So our team is grown, and we're ready to move this year to do more events, to take on events throughout the United States in collaboration with the brand.
That's right. That's right. So Olivia, so guys, a lot of the videos that Jason has been playing for the past couple of weeks, Olivia has actually been very, very instrumental in those events. She's actually been very instrumental in those events. So I'm telling you, like if you have a brand, if you have an offer, then you definitely want to get an event. So Olivia, I always ask everybody who come on this show the same question, right? Being where you are right now in your life, the experience that you've gathered, the knowledge that you've gathered, if you could go back in time, right, and you could tell your younger self or leave your younger self with one piece of critical advice, just one piece. It could be personal, it could be business related, could be event related, right? What would that be?
Oh, great. So really, it would be to not stop, right? Keep going. Um, the reason that I'm here today is because I didn't stop. I'm a culmination of all of the experiences that I've had. So to get here, I had to do all of the things that I did. So I would go back and tell myself to keep going, just kind of to reassure myself to keep going and to keep going and to know that it's going to be all right.
Right. That's right. Very nice. And you are a member of the leadership leverage, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So we often talk about transformation.
Hmm.
So walk us through your transformation thus far, right? So you've been with us for only a couple months.
Couple months, yeah.
It feels like forever, right?
It
But
does.
it
In
feels
a
like
good way.
forever.
In a
But
good way.
yeah. Yeah, so tell us about your experience. It's only been a few months, maybe like, I don't know, 2, 3 months, 3, 4 months max.
3 or 4 months it has. Yeah, this has been it's been a great transformation for me. I'm just really learning about a lot of the social media, about the marketing piece. I'm about to go live with my website, which I haven't had because a lot of my business has been through my connections from my corporate experience. So even being here, it's been an amazing transformation, meeting a lot of um, the wonderful people that are a part of the brand. This has been an amazing, um, 4 months for me.
That's right. So how much clarity have you found,
Hmm.
like with Exquise events? So coming in, so before you came into the leverage,
Hmm.
you came in with a certain level of clarity, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Like right now, like today, like on this day, today is what, the 21st of January, 2023.
Hmm.
How much clarity, or how would you describe the level of clarity that you found from working with us to bring the vision of Exquise to life?
I found a lot of clarity in being able to target my market better, to amplify the voice of the organization, to really clarify the message that I've had, and really fine tune what's been amazing about the company for the last year, and really to be able to capture it so that I could market it in a larger way. And you all have been you particularly Junior and definitely Sean, have been very, very instrumental in really helping me to, uh, filter it down into easier, words and sentences so that I can target those groups. So I'm super appreciative for that.
All right, definitely, definitely. And I am very humbled to be part of such an amazing company to be able to assist you. Guys, listen, the leadership leverage, let me tell you something. If you're not inside the leverage, if you're not involved in some way, shape, or form, then like Olivia says, you're missing out. You're missing out. Nobody has to sell the leverage because the leverage sells itself. The leverage sells itself, right? So I'm gonna ask Mr. B to put up a link just for anybody who wants to learn more about the leadership leverage. Check it out on your own time after the broadcast. So, Mr. B, if you could put up that link somewhere in the chat or somewhere on the screen, so people viewing who want to get a transformation like Olivia could have the opportunity to do so, then definitely go and check that out. All right, so Olivia,
Mhm.
walk us through 2023. What can we expect from Excuse Events?
Well, so in May, we're going to have a women's empowerment brunch in Atlanta. We're planning it now, and we have a few panelists. It's going to be very, very powerful. There are a few major partnerships that we're working on that'll be announced in a few weeks or so. Of course, the launching of the website nearing at the end of the month. And then we're going to continue to serve our clients and make the most remarkable experiences with the brand. So, really excited about that.
Definitely, definitely. So, guys, this has been an amazing show. We will definitely be having Olivia to come back, right? And she'll be talking about more knowledge when it comes to luxury experiences and how you could sort of incorporate that into your business. So, guys, if you can, go ahead, put some flames in the chat for her. Olivia, I want to say thank you so much for coming out. And I do want to say to the audience, guys, listen, today, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as normal, we're going to be having a masterclass. It's called the Branded Like a Leader Masterclass, right? It's called the Branded Like a Leader Masterclass. And this is for professionals who want to turn their expertise into a seven-figure brand. So we spoke about, basically having the brand, having the offer, having the event. The Branded Like a Leader Masterclass is going to teach you how to take or how to turn your years of knowledge, of professional experience into a highly profitable business. So you can be like my friend Olivia here, right? And create something that is absolutely phenomenal. When the website comes out, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait for everybody viewing this to see. We're going to have Olivia back when the website launches, so she can launch it right here and tell you about all of the amazing things that she's doing. So guys, again, Mr. B, if you could put that somewhere in the chat, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're gonna have the Branded Like a Leader Master Class. This is for professionals, highly driven, highly motivated, highly ethical, only people who are serious. So please do not come if you don't want to make more income, if you don't want to make more impact, if you're somebody that's afraid of success, if you're somebody that's afraid of going to the next level, then don't bother attending. But if you are not, if you want success, if you want impact, if you want more income, if you want to reach more people, then definitely come to the Branded Like a Leader Masterclass to learn how to take your experience and turn it into a 7-figure brand. All right. So, guys, thank you so much. Mr. B, let's put that link up when you get it. Olivia, I want to ask you to please close us out. So, what is something that you'd like to say to the audience viewing?
Thank you so much. It's been amazing. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy Saturday, and look forward to talking to you all again.
All right. Thank you. Guys, this has been another episode of Breakfast with the Brand. We will be back next week. Who knows? You may have Olivia again. In the event that we do, please get some questions ready because listen, if you're in business, period, you want to have an event. Because if you're in business, you have a brand. If you have a brand, you have an offer. If you have an offer and no event, then what are you doing? Okay. Guys, this has been Breakfast with the Brand. Thank you so much. Have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you soon. Let's grow.